Hey guys, and here we are back with another one, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now today we are here to take a quick look on the latest, or one of the latest systems, CCTV systems from YESKAMO, which is right over here, and we have a lot to cover. So let's start with a very quick unboxing experience where we will find a quick user guide. We will find a full manual guide as well with all detailed instructions. But one thing that I would like to mention is that if you watch this video and by any chance if you purchase this system, in a couple of minutes you will have all the system working without looking at the manual. The manual and the more advanced options, which I'll show in just a few moments, will be necessary only if you want some advanced settings, but for the basic usage you'll be more than fine with just plugging and play. Now we also find the NVR in the package, which is an NVR all-in-one with a 16-inch screen, which looks really nice, and we have the ability to record. We will also find 4 1080 cameras with movement detection, two-way audio, motion activated LED lights, IP66 water protection and siren alarm. Included in the package there will be all the accessories necessary so that we can assemble the system, starting with a power extension cable, external antennas, some screws, one external antenna with an extension cable, an Ethernet cable, a mouse, some stickers, one power adapter for the NVR and one power adapter for every single one of the cameras. Now in terms of the setup, it's really straightforward and easy, and in my opinion we don't need the manual. Nonetheless, just so that you have an idea, the first thing that I did was to insert a hard drive, and this is obviously optional because we don't need to record the footage. Open the back of the NVR and then insert the hard drive, secure it with a few screws, and then just connect the cables and we are ready to go. Next we will connect the NVR to the power adapter and of course a network cable so that we have everything connected. And once we have the NVR working, we can start installing the cameras wherever we want. Of course, there is a limit in terms of wireless signal, but if the signal is weak, we can always use an Ethernet cable with a power line adapter, for example, which we have covered here a lot on the channel. But one thing that I would like to show you guys is that once we plug in the camera, any camera, and the NVR detects the camera, it will be automatically added to the system, and once it's added with the hard drive inserted, it will start working and it will start recording. So really easy, as you could see. In terms of 5 minutes we will have the system working. Of course we will spend more time setting up the cameras where we want, especially if we want to mount these outside our home. I will leave a link down below for the last system that I did install as well, and you will have an idea how I did use a few outside electric points and I created the small boxes and so on and so forth. So that will take a lot more time than setting up the system, which is really quickly. Once we have the NVR ready and the cameras ready, we can set up also the mobile app on our phone, which is very easy to use. All we need to do is to take a screenshot of the QR code, and after that we have the app working on our phones and tablets, and we can give access to any family members. So really great, really easy to use. Now there are a few features, 3 in this particular case, that I would like to share with you guys and are very interesting compared to the last system. Now they all have to do with motion detection, which these cameras are capable. Now the first is it has a motion detection capability of triggering a alarm siren. And the sound is not very loud, so it's more of a warning that it's working and it's watching you. So it's something that will make people look twice or think twice before doing anything. The same happens with the LED lights with motion detection activated, which we can disable all these features. The lights will turn on. Now the lights turning on, it has pros and cons. Now if you are looking to scare someone, then it might be a positive thing. I do have my own system, so this is redundant, but in terms of the cons, the light will do something, which is these cameras are really great at the infrared feature, which is looking at the image at night. I don't know if you can see right now here, but if you don't, I will post an image right over here. But the image is really clear. If we turn on the LEDs, then the image will not be as clear during the night, of course, as using the infrared. And then the other feature is the two-way audio. Olha, mas consegues ouvir bem quando eu estou a falar? Tenta lá falar ao mesmo tempo, que é para ver se dá para perceber.
Trabalhei, pausei, almocei, joguei.
Olha, consegues ouvir bem, deixa lá.
Consigo ouvir mais do que bem.
And now let's take a quick look at the dashboard interface on the NVR. Now the NVR will allow us to have all the options available. If we use a Windows computer, we can access through a CMS, which will give us some options, but not all that we see. So quickly, let's take a look at them so that you have an idea of how the system works. Now, first of all, we have a menu that will allow us to split the screen up to 8, which is the maximum number of cameras that we can add. And then I can, of course, open single cameras or even switch the main display from one camera to the other, which is great. This is improved over the last generation that I've been using. Now I can use this like 1 camera, 4 cameras, 6 cameras or 8 cameras as we were seeing. In my particular case, the best scenario is the 4 cameras. On the next screen we have the video manager, and in here we have a lot of options, which, guys, for someone wanting to plug and play, we will not need to use any of these options because everything is automatic, but they are here just in case we need to change an IP address, and this is for more advanced users. I would not advise to play around with this. Of course, we have an option to factory reset, so if you make any mistake, you can just turn the device to factory and that's all okay. But as you can see, there are a lot of options right over here, including some options that we had in the past for the wireless setup, for the repeaters, and so on and so forth. Now, that being said, let's go back and check out all the other menus. Now, in terms of system setup, this is the general system setup. We have some options on the left hand side right over here. Main option here on this menu where we can change resolution, we can change the language, we can change the way that the NVR works here and there in terms of hard drives, in terms of time setup, and then we have the recording settings if we want to record all the time, just when motion or just when the alarm triggers, regarding the individual channels, what we want to do with each one of them. And then in terms of network, we also have a lot of options that we can use. Once again, everything will be ready to go automatically, but if we want to change anything like the DNS emails that we want to receive when we trigger an alarm or something like that. In terms of channel, we have a lot of options as well. In terms of the OST of the channel, the video detection, I just disabled the PIR and the alarm on the system, and then we have other options that, once again, we don't need to change. Finally, here we are with the system options that we can use to change how the system works and how many users we will have on the system, and the upgrade in terms of firmware and so on and so forth. Now, moving to the next menu, we will find in terms of video playback. As you may imagine, I'm just using the system for a few hours, and as you can see, it works. But the last system that I've got from YESKAMO is working for more than 1 year right now, and everything works perfectly, not only on the NVR but also on Windows and on Android and iOS devices. So in terms of playback, we have always, depending on the capacity of our hard drives. To the next menu, I will find the color adjust, which I can change. But honestly, the picture looks so good at 1080 with a great resolution that I don't see the need to be changing anything, especially in my particular case where everything is working really nice. Of course, if you are in a different environment with a different, I don't know, scenario, you may want to adjust anything, but in this particular case, I don't see the need. Now, next we have the PTZ control, which in this particular case for the cameras that I've got, I cannot zoom in and cannot focus and use the iris. This is a system ready for other type of cameras, so in this particular case I will not be using this menu. I can also change the volume of the NVR. We have a setup wizard, which is not necessary. We just need, as I showed on the video, to set up the system, plug in the cameras, plug in the NVR, and everything will work just fine. I have one more menu right over here, which is the exit system. Will allow me to reboot, close the screen, and shut down. So in conclusion, guys, what I can say about this system, first of all, is that it's really easy to set up. It's a plug and play setup, and this is one of the biggest advantages right over here. Now, in terms of build quality, the overall aspect of the cameras and also the NVR is great, so no complaints right over there. In terms of image quality of the cameras, 1080 at 60 frames per second maximum. Of course, this will depend on our network, on the distance between the NVR and the cameras, but the overall quality is great, so no complaints on the last system that I have, and no complaints right over here, which has an improvement over that one. Having the NVR with an all-in-one enclosure, which is the screen, it is the NVR itself, and the capability of taking hard drives to record, it's also a great advantage in my opinion, because we can just place this device anywhere in our home, where normal NVRs usually we want to hide them because they are ugly. In this particular case, it's not the most beautiful thing that I've seen, but it's a pleasant screen with a nice resolution, which we can just take it to the kitchen, to the living room, and leave it hanging on a wall or something like that. So it looks really nice. And of course, lastly, the app on a mobile phone or on a tablet, it's really, really easy to use. Overall, what I can say is that for someone looking for an easy system with a really nice quality ratio to price, this is a good option. Guys, hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.